favorite of mine, F-Type R. Probably my favorite car here, to be honest. I love this thing so much. Looks absolutely incredible. All right, guys, well, here it is. This is my new to me 2015 Jaguar F-Type R Coupe. I'm so excited to introduce this car to the channel for you guys. This car has been a long time in the making, probably 6-7 months if I had to guess, honestly. And I'm really excited to show it to you guys here. I'll have a ton of content filmed, obviously, for a full tour, test drive, taking it to shows, road trips, everything like that. But in this video, I just want to give you guys the full story of how this car came to be, why I chose the F-Type, and kind of future plans for this car. So as you guys can probably tell by some of those intro clips, I've been very interested in the F-Type in general for a number of years now. Even before that clip was filmed, maybe back in 2021 or so, I've had pictures and videos of the F-Type back when it first came out and when I was a teenager and stuff like that. And I've always really wanted to own this car in general. And to be honest with you guys, over the years I've come very close to buying an F-Type, but I can never really find the right car, and I've never really found the right justification to swap it over from the S5, the C63, stuff like that. But once the C63 sold at the end of last year, I was like, I'm gonna take the winter to find the right car and do this thing for real. Over the last 6 months or so, I've been very busy and trying to find the right F-Type. I was very specific in what I was looking for. I wanted a coupe, obviously. I'm not a big fan of the way the convertible F-Types look. As beautiful as the rest of the car is, that soft top proportion just doesn't look quite right with me. So I wanted the coupe and I wanted a V8. I was a little flexible on kind of model years and all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. If you guys are unfamiliar, the 2015 F-Type is the only model year that had rear-wheel drive as an option. From 2016 onwards, all of them were all-wheel drive as standard. So if you guys have been paying close attention, I actually have dropped a few Easter egg hints on my search throughout the channel here. If you guys watched the 2016 all-wheel drive F-Type that I filmed back in the fall, that was at the very early part of my search, and a friend of mine recently had purchased that car and allowed me to take an extended test drive and see what the ownership proposition was like, ask him a bunch of questions and stuff like that. I will admit, I don't think in that video that I ever said that I am looking for an F-Type to purchase. I just kind of kept it as a standard review, but in the back of my mind, obviously, that was a video to film for my records and make sure that the F-Type was something that I could definitely add to the garage and see kind of in the future. So with all that being said, and almost at the perfect time, this one popped up for sale on Facebook Marketplace and Auto Trader, and I messaged the seller immediately and I said, that car is for me. What can I do to take it off your hands? And the rest is history. I flew down to North Carolina and drove this thing back, as you guys saw in some of those other clips, 4.5 hours, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. This car was flawless on the drive. It is a perfect Grand Tourer. So hopefully that answers some questions on how and why this F-Type came to be. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at my new F-Type. I can't believe that I'm saying that. Like I said, guys, this is a 2015 F-Type R, so it has the supercharged 5-liter V8 with 550 horsepower going only to the rear wheels. And in terms of the general styling, I mean, how could you not love the way this thing looks? This is arguably one of the best looking cars ever created, in my humble opinion at least. The amount of attention and positive compliments I've already gotten in this car has been kind of overwhelming, to be honest with you guys. But if we take a look at the wheels, these are also really a nice feature on this car as well. The carbon wheels, my absolute favorite design on this car, with the 255 tires in the front. If we come along to the rear, I believe these are 305 section tires as well. One of my favorite angles of the car, this kind of rear 3/4 view right here with the way the C-pillar kind of molds into the trunk lid right there. Just an absolutely stunning piece of design. I've just sat and stared at this thing for minutes on end, just admiring how amazing this thing is. But if we continue along here, you can see the quad exhaust pipes for the F-Type R, and for the 2015 model year in particular, there's no sound muting or anything like that. So there's a ton of burbles in the exhaust. I'll be sure to give you guys an exhaust note clip here in a second. Let's take a quick look inside the car here, and before we do so, I'll show you guys what the key looks like. Very nice kind of leather wrapped key right here with the Jag logo on the kind of aluminum plate right here. You have unlock, lock, headlights obviously to find the car in a dark parking lot, which is pretty cool. The trunk release as well as the panic. One other cool thing about this car is actually the door handles. Right now you can see there's a little Jag logo right there, but if you go ahead and kind of press it in like so, you'll see the car locks and the mirrors fold in. And once you want to unlock the car, you can just press the button on the handle. It'll pop out. and you can pull it to open. But as you can see, this one is finished in the full black leather interior with the contrasting red stitching on the seats as well as the armrest and stuff like that. Really, really nice color combination in general. This one also has the bronze paddle shifters, a little bit tough to see, but that's specific to the 2015 model year. I think they actually went to a silver aluminum finish in later model years, and also on the drive mode toggle switch there as well. This one is also extremely well optioned, so it has the vision pack. If you guys can see the little blind spot indication in the mirror, it's a little bit tough there, but it also has obviously the backup camera, which lives right there, as well as the pano roof, which is a requirement in my opinion. It makes the cabin feel so much airier. This panel doesn't open or anything, but like I said, it just gives a lot more sunlight into the cabin. But let's go ahead and hop in the car and I'll show you guys what it looks like from the driver's seat perspective here. And as you can see, you're greeted by the really nice analog gauges with the little R logo right there. Fully leather wrapped steering wheel, like I showed you guys, with the flat bottom. The R infotainment display, and these vents actually pop up out of the dash, which is really nice. I love this kind of grab handle again with the red stitching. One thing that I'm very happy that the previous owner took care of, if you guys are familiar with these cars, they suffer from sticky buttons, which is what affects like a lot of Ferraris and stuff like that, ironically. But around the steering wheel trim, this rubber plastic kind of wears off and it gets like kind of on your fingers. So the previous owner removed it on the steering wheel area, the shifter, kind of in this infotainment bezel right there. So really happy that that was taken care of. With the car and accessory mode, you can see there is a little bit of a helper screen in the middle here, which shows like coolant temperature, fuel, and stuff like that. You can also cycle through some menus right here on the left side of the steering wheel: trip computer, instrument display, vehicle setup, stuff like that. And you can also use this button on the turn signal stalk here to cycle that menu at the bottom. You can see at a clear view the mileage, 65,000 on this car, trip computer, average speed, stuff like that. Taking a look at the actual infotainment display, this is obviously the most dated part of the car. It is a touchscreen, so you can see you can go through the various menus. This one has thankfully been fitted with an Apple CarPlay retrofit system, so as you can see, it's kind of lagging right there. But yeah, this one's fitted with CarPlay, so it connects wirelessly. Obviously, it's not doing it right now since I'm using my phone to record, but helps modernize the system and make, everything a little bit more usable. Obviously, here are the climate controls down here. You can go ahead and turn them like so, and like I said, these vents will pop out of the dashboard, which are pretty nice. This one's also optioned with the carbon fiber trim. As you can see, it looks very nice. I'm not sure if this is real. It definitely feels real, but if it's not, it is very convincing nonetheless. You can see the drive mode selector right here. You pull it down to put it in dynamic. You can see the gauge cluster also turns red, tells you dynamic mode confirmed. You can also push it up and to go into a rain snow mode. If we push it up one more time, there we go, confirmed. But obviously, we'll put it down in dynamic mode before we start this thing up. As you can see, the exhaust button also illuminates to open the valves. You have the traction control button right here, auto start stop, as well as for the spoiler. So the spoiler, you can only raise it in accessory mode, which is what we're in right now. They call it cleaning mode. So I'll go ahead and press the button. You can see in the gauge cluster, it says spoiler and cleaning mode. So once you start the car up and drive away, the spoiler will actually go down, but it will raise again on its own at 70 miles an hour. So it kind of has its own thing that it does. You can only raise it manually in accessory mode for cleaning mode, like I said. But let's go ahead and get to the moment everyone's been waiting for. Let's go ahead and fire this beast up. We'll put our foot on the brake and press the start stop button here. Let's just give it a couple revs here. So what more needs to be said about the sound of this car, guys? I mean, it is the best sounding car ever. But let's pop the hood here and I'll show you guys a quick look at the engine here. Obviously, I love the clamshell hood as well. You have to be a little bit careful when it goes up, not to bop your head or anything. But once it's open, as I said, this is the 5-liter supercharged V8, 550 horsepower, 502 foot-pounds of torque. 8-speed automatic, rear-wheel drive, 0 to 60 is 3.9 seconds, I believe. Top speed is well in excess of 180 miles an hour, which I also believe is just limited anyway. Very good engine overall. I love that it sits kind of behind the front axle on the wheels there, so it's almost like a front mid-engine car. Really nice weight balance, and it handles so well, this car, which we'll get into more in the test drive video as well. One quick note about this clamshell hood: when you go to close it, kind of grab it right here close to the center, and once it lowers enough, you can work your way to the actual center of the hood. And once it's at a level where you can kind of slam it, make sure you do that because otherwise it messes with the panel gaps at the front. But with all that being said, guys, that is my new 2015 Jag F-Type R Coupe. Like I said, there will be a ton of content coming on this car very soon. I'm so excited to film with it. I also haven't sold the 2006 Audi A6 Avant, so those are the two cars in the garage right now. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.